to the webinar part 2. And let's start our webinar without wasting our time with the very motivational thought by Richard L. Evans. Your direction is more important than your speed. Choose always the right direction. So with this motivational thought, let us start the webinar. So first we have Shivani with us. Shivani, please continue with your presentation.
Okay, thank you, Vartika. Good morning, everyone. This is Shivani Singh of 10th A, and today we will learn about respiration in human being. So let us first understand what is respiration. The breaking down of food in the presence of oxygen is known as respiration. So let's get started with the human respiratory system. The main organ of the respiratory system are nostril, nasal cavity, pharynx, larynx, trachea, bronchi, bronchioles, lungs, and diaphragm. The air enters through the nostril. The hair and mucus traps the dust particles. Then it passes through the pharynx, larynx, trachea, bronchi, and enters the lungs. The trachea has rings of cartilage which prevents it from collapsing when there is no air in the trachea. The bronchi divides into smaller tubes called bronchioles, which end in tiny air sacs called alveoli. The alveoli is supplied with blood vessels through which exchange of gases takes place. The alveoli helps in increase the surface area for the exchange of gases. Let's move to the mechanism of breathing because without breathing, respiration cannot be happened. So, taking in oxygen and giving out CO2 is known as respiration. So, mechanism of respiration. When we breathe in, the muscles of diaphragm contracts and moves down, and the chest cavity expands and air enters into the lung. When we breathe out, the when we breathe out air, the muscles of the diaphragm relaxes and moves upward and the chest cavity contracts and air goes out of the lungs. Now it's time for a fact. The lungs in the human body is the only organ which floats on water. This was all about the human respiratory system. Thank you.
Very good.
Thank you so much, Shivani, for this wonderful presentation and letting us know about how the respiratory system works. Now, moving towards Falak, I would like to call you. Please present your slide.
Good morning, everyone. Myself Palak Banu, and today I'm here with the topic expiratory system in human. Ma'am, before starting, I would like to share the screen.
Okay. Start sharing better.
Basically, life of every organism depends on certain basic processes. Excretion is one among them. Different organisms follow different modes of excretion. In complex organisms, including humans, there is a specialized system for excretion called human excretory system, which is kidney. You can see this bean-shaped organ. This is known as kidney, located on side of the backbone and are protected by the ribs and muscles of the back. This whole structure of kidney is an abdomen. This bean-shaped structure is kidney and they are in two in numbers. Their main job is to cleanse the blood of toxins and transform the waste into urine. Now, this tube-like structure is called ureter. The ureter is a tube that carries urine from the kidney to the urinary bladder. And this both tube-like structure is ending on this bag-like structure which is known as urinary bladder. The bladder stores urine, allowing urination to be infrequent and controlled. Now towards the end of this bag-like structure, there is a small tube-like structure which is called urethra. The urethra is a tube that carries urine from the bladder to outside of the body. These are other main organs of excretory system. Now you can see two tubes in two colors, red and blue. This is known as blood vessels. These red blood vessels contain oxygenated blood, which is aorta artery, and this blue one contains deoxygenated blood, which is inferior vena cava. Now we can see that artery and vein, they are divided into two branches, and they are known as renal artery and renal vein. Now let's talk about very important part of the kidney. Inside this bean-shaped structure, there is a nephron, and or we can say as functional unit of kidney. Nephron is removing all waste products, including the solid waste and other excess water from the blood, converting blood into the urine, reabsorption, secretion, and excretion of numerous substances. Now let's talk about the function of nephron. Malpighian tubule, reabsorption tubule, hormonal activity. Function of nephron are divided into three parts. First, Malpighian tubule, glomerulus help in ultrafiltration of nitrogen waste, and Bowman's capsule store the primary urine. Reabsorption tubule, PCT, it helps in reabsorption of sugar, amino acid, and protein. Loop of Henle, it helps in reabsorption of water. Hormonal activity, DCT, it receives hormone CADH, vasopressin from adrenal gland, which is osmoregulation. This was all about my slide and explanation. Thank you, everyone.
Very good, Palak.
Thank you so much, Palak, for this wonderful presentation. Now we have with us Gaurav. So Gaurav, please show your slides.
Thank you. Hello, I am Gaurav Kumar Patel. I am going to tell about transportation. We know that human performs circulation and the plant is also necessary to live. So they do a process that is called transportation. So let's see what is transportation. The transportation word that is related to the transport, and we know that transport is the carrying of anything from one place to another place. Transportation is the process that involves the movement of water and food particles from one place to another place in plants. Transportation in plants is very necessary. Trees transport their nutrients and waters and food materials from tip to the bottom and from the bottom to the tip. In plants, transportation of material like food, water, and minerals takes place through the conducting tissue, that is xylem and phloem, and there are many subparts of there. What is a xylem? We know xylem transport the water and minerals, and the process of transport of water and mineral is called ascent of shape. Second is phloem, that transports food material, and this process is called translocation. Xylem, it transports water and minerals from the roots to all parts of the plants. It consists of xylem vessels and trachea, and both together known as trachea elements. Ascent of shape, the process of upper movement of water and minerals is called ascent of shape, that is starting from roots. It involves two processes, that is osmosis and diffusion, and osmosis occurs in the epiblema because epiblema is a semi-permeable membrane in the roots. Then the process diffusion helps in the movements of molecules. Phloem, it transports food from leaves to all parts of the plants, and it consists of companion cells and sieve tubes, and they both together known as the sister cells. Translocation, the transports of food is called translocation, and it involves only one process, that is osmosis. There is no requirement of diffusion. Through the process osmosis, they transport the food in the plants, and it is a bidirectional movement. They perform in any direction. Thank you.
Very good, Gaurav.
Thank you so much, Gaurav. Now we have Ansh with us. So Ansh, please present your slides. Now for further proceeding, I would like to call Jyotsna. So Jyotsna, please present.
Good morning to all. I am Jyotsna Verma from class 10th. Today I am here to present my topic, human respiratory system. As we know, human beings perform pulmonary respiration. Pulmonary respiration contains two things, that is respiratory tract and respiratory system. Respiratory tract shows the movement of air from which organ to which organ air is going on. And respiratory system contains all those organs that form a complete system to exchange gases. So now let us start respiratory system in human being. Ma'am, need distance here.
Yes, beta. Hello.
Enters into the nasal passage. From nasal passage, air goes into the pharynx. From pharynx, air enters into the larynx. Larynx, which is also called voice box. After larynx, we can see a tube-like structure. It is called trachea. Trachea is made up of 7 vertebral bones. Then then air goes into the lungs. Two goes into the lungs. Trachea divided into two parts. That is known as bronchus. Then again bronchus divided into smaller parts known as bronchioles. And at the end of the bronchioles, we can see a balloon-like structure that is called alveoli. And alveoli is directly connected with the blood capillaries, so it directly exchanges gases with the blood by simple diffusion. And at the end of the and lastly, we can see that there is a muscular structure known as diaphragm. It is also known as separator of thorax and abdominal cavity. When we inspire, then diaphragm shifted upward, and when we expire, then diaphragm shifted downward. So this is all for my side. Thank you and have a nice.
I would like to call Sudhanshu. So Sudhanshu, please present your slides.
Good morning, all of you. I, Sudhanshu Singh of class 10th, present here for the topic nutrition. Nutrition are defined as the substance required for proper growth and manufacture of a living body. Modes of nutrition: autotrophs and heterotrophs. Autotrophic nutrition is a kind of nutrition in which the organism prepare the synthesize their own organic food, utilizing organic only the inorganic raw material present in the surrounding. Heterotrophic modes of nutrition. Heterotrophic nutrition is a kind of nutrition in which the organism derives energy from the intake and digestion of the inorganic substances prepared by autotrophs and other organic sources. Next, we will see about events with photosynthesis. Absorption of light energy by chlorophyll and conversion of light nets into chemical energy and splitting of water hydrogen and water, and also carbon dioxide to carbohydrates are the events of photosynthesis. Next, we will see about nutrition in human beings. Digestion is a catabolic process in which complex and large components of food are broken down into respective simpler and smaller forms. And alimentary canal, salivary and gland, pipeline, gastric gland, hydrochloric acid, HCl prepare enzymes, liver which secretes bile juice, and next we will see about uh, metabolism in of digestion food. First, in ingestion, in which we eat food and raw food. In second, digestion, in which the food will break down. Absorption will absorb the food where it is necessary. Assimilation, where it is the use of food. And adjacent, where the waste is known as adjacent. Thank you.
Very good.
Now we have Shipra with us. Shipra, please present your slides.
Hello everyone, I'm Siprada from class 10. Today I am giving a seminar on the topic of photosynthesis. So I need to share this. So photosynthesis is a Greek origin which is made up of the two simple words, that is photon and synthesis. Photon means light and synthesis means putting together. Overall, the meaning of photosynthesis is synthesizes of food with the help of light. It is the most important process on Earth by which the green plants synthesize complex carbohydrates and evolve molecular oxygen from the simple inorganic substances like carbon dioxide and water. The process of photosynthesis can be defined as the conversion of light energy into the chemical energy by the green parts of the plant. Thus, photosynthesis is the most important process in nature for providing food supply to the biological world and purifying the atmospheric air by consuming carbon dioxide and evolving oxygen. The chemical equation of photosynthesis is 6CO2 plus 12H2O is equal to C6H12O6 plus 6H2O plus 6O2. The process of photosynthesis occurs only in green parts because this requires presence of green colored pigment called chlorophyll. Process of photosynthesis occurs in mesophyll cell. So this is the mesophyll cell. It provides a broad and flat surfaces. It also provides chlorophyll for maximum sunlight absorption. It has a maximum stomata for the gaseous exchange. Steps of photosynthesis. First steps of the photosynthesis is absorption of sunlight by chlorophyll. And second, formation of assimilatory power. And third and last is reduction of CO2 to produce CH2O. So that's it all about. Thank you for everyone who listened by this seminar. I'm really grateful.
Very good, Beta.
Okay, thank you so much, Shifra, for this beautiful presentation. Now it's my turn to tell you about I have chosen the topic human excretory system. So let me introduce you. Biology is such an amazing subject. It contains of many mechanisms, functions, and processes. And one of them, the major one, is the excretory system. Now let us talk about what is excretory system in detail. Ma'am, I will turn aside the camera because I can't share the screen right now. So I'll be turning off my screen. Yeah. So we have a great time with each other and we've known many things, respiratory, excretory, transportation, like all our body parts and all the main organs, all their processes. So thank you so much, ma'am, for listening us. Thank you for giving us time. And thank you to all the participants who have presented their wonderful slides. Now we are going to end up the meeting. Hope we will meet soon with the next webinar. Thank you so much.